Have you ever thought about getting a pet as an emotional support animal? An emotional support animal is any animal that has been prescribed by a mental health specialist to serve a patient who has a diagnosed psychological or emotional disorder such as depression or panic attacks. All such animals must have calm and friendly temperaments. To be officially recognized as an emotional support animal, the owner must have a letter from a licensed mental health professional. In contrast to emotional support animals, or service animals, Articles 2 and 3 of the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, restricts the use of the term service animal to just dogs, while other animals, including cats, pigs, miniature horses, and even monkeys, have served as emotional support animals. The concept of an emotional support animal, which includes therapy dogs, is not legally recognized by the ADA. While service dogs are legally allowed access to public facilities and accommodations that include but are not limited to restaurants, hotels, and passenger aircraft, other animals are not. In order to meet the ADA's legal definition of a service animal, a dog must be harnessed and leashed. While most service dogs work as guide animals for the blind, there are other dogs who pull wheelchairs, protect a person who is having a seizure, or who help calm a person with post-traumatic stress disorder during an anxiety attack. All such service animals are considered working animals, not pets. The work a dog has been trained to provide must be directly related to that person's disability. Under federal law, a therapy dog, whose sole function is to provide comfort and emotional support to a person with a disability, does not meet the current requirement under the ADA for being a service animal. Despite this restriction, there are a great many people, including myself, who believe in the mental health benefit of having an emotional support animal. A 2012 study called "Does Pet Arrival Trigger Pro-Social Behaviors in Individuals with Autism?" found that pets provide autistic children the means of practicing and understanding the events of their social world. When confronted with a pet, a child with ASD has the potential to emotionally bond with the animal in a way that he or she has not previously done with a person. In another study that was published in 2018 in the journal Frontiers in Veterinary Science, researchers found that a cat can provide an avenue of positive relationships for an autistic child, even if the cat was spending only an hour a day or less with that child. Consider the example of Arabella Carter Johnson and her husband, Peter John Holmshaw, who live in Leicestershire, England. In 2000, Arabella gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, whom they named Iris. Although nothing initially seemed wrong, the parents noticed that their baby would not make eye contact with them. When Iris was 2 years old, she was diagnosed with severe autism. Severe autism is characterized by irregular sleep patterns, obsessive behavior, refusing to make eye contact, and social avoidance behavior that is manifested by not wanting to interact with anyone, including the parents and other children. The mere presence of a stranger could elicit a panic attack. Iris's parents noticed that while Iris enjoyed looking at pictures in her books, she had no interest in engaging with anything around her. She did not speak or communicate in any way. After having had a disastrous experience at school as a pre-K student, Iris's parents decided that their daughter's needs would best be served if she was homeschooled. As part of her homeschool education, Arabella introduced her daughter to painting with watercolors when she was 3. Iris loved the experience, and during this time, her mother was able to engage with Iris in a way that had not been previously possible. Through their ongoing research, the parents discovered that many children on the spectrum responded well to a variety of animals. The couple tried introducing their daughter to any number of dogs and even a horse, but Iris wasn't interested. When Iris's older brother went to Sweden for Christmas and needed someone to look after his cat, the parents agreed to take in his cat. To everyone's surprise, Iris bonded with the cat. In researching the use of a cat as a possible therapy animal, the couple came across an American breed that was known as the Maine Coon. The Maine Coon was described as being friendly, intelligent, and vocal with a quirkiness that included an appreciation of water. They subsequently arranged to adopt a kitten named Tula from a local breeder. The fluffy little kitten spent her first night cradled in Iris's loving arms. The parents noticed right away that with the appearance of this kitten, Iris's body language had suddenly changed from being on edge to being relaxed. Although Iris did not enjoy the sensation of being touched even to the point where she did not like clothing or having to take baths, all of this changed once Tola came into her life. Since Maine Coons like immersing themselves in water, Tola hopped into the bathtub while Iris was fussing with her mother over having to be bathed. When the little girl saw her kitten in the bathtub, she decided that she also wanted to be in the bathtub. For the first time in her young life, her mother was able to bathe there without any fussing. Within 3 months of the kitten's arrival, Arabella was able to dress Iris without encountering any complaints. Tola, as it turned out, was the perfect companion for Iris. Whenever Iris became frustrated or impatient, Tola would snuggle against her to help calm her down. If Iris was having a difficult time with sleeping, Tola would be there for her. The kitten would purr until her human friend fell asleep. Although the parents had been told that Iris would likely be nonverbal, within weeks of the kitten's arrival, the 6-year-old girl was saying things like,
"Sit, cat,"
and the cat would obey. In addition to Iris's speech therapy, the cat studied Iris's movements, and whenever the little girl painted, her kitten would mimic her, thereby encouraging the child to continue. As the years have passed, Iris has become internationally famous for her Monet-like paintings. Celebrities like Angelina Jolie have purchased her artwork. Iris's parents credit their daughter's intense concentration with their ability to blend colors and patterns. She creates her paintings by dotting, dabbing, and flicking her brush. They also credit their daughter's transformation with Tola. Although Iris is now much more independent than she was when she was 6, Tola remains an important part of Iris's life. This is not to say that Maine Coon cats would make the best therapy animals for anyone who has ASD. Since ASD is a spectrum disorder, different people will react to different animals in different ways. It is also important to consider the personality of each animal, since some will respond positively to a person's need for help, while others might not. What you will ideally be looking for is an animal with a warm, sociable, and outgoing personality as opposed to one that might be overly timid or even fearful. You should also think about an animal's longevity, as well as its physical durability, since some animals like guinea pigs are very fragile and also have much shorter lifespans. I once knew a man who had a cockatoo. He was an Iraqi war veteran who had been having issues with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. While a cockatoo was a good pet for him, I would not recommend it for a child because these birds are quite fragile. Since anyone with ASD has varying degrees of being socially awkward depending upon the severity of their condition, having access to an emotional support animal can improve the quality of that person's life. So long as we take care of them by treating them with kindness while also meeting all of their basic needs, they will love us as ourselves. They will be our friends and our companions, and they will always be there when we need them. If you are thinking about getting an emotional support animal, you might consider going to your nearest local shelter where you could visit different animals to see if any connections might be formed. Some shelters have private rooms that could be used to visit with each animal. By adopting a pet from a shelter, instead of buying one from a breeder, you could be saving that animal's life. Sadly, there are county and municipal shelters in the United States that will euthanize unwanted animals that nobody has adopted. According to the ASPCA, each year, an estimated 920,000 unwanted shelter animals are put down. That's 390,000 dogs and 530,000 cats. If you decide to adopt a cat, you might consider adopting a black one, since black cats tend to be the last type of cat that are ever adopted. This is a picture of Buki, who is one of my cats. I got Buki from a no-kill shelter back in 2015. Buki was born in the shelter. He lived there for 6 years before I adopted him.
Buki is my best friend. I can't even imagine what my life would have been like if I hadn't met him.
Prior to adopting a pet, you should also research how to take care of this pet, so that you may offer this animal the best possible care. You will, after all, want this animal to live a long and healthy life.
If you found this video interesting and would like to support this channel, please click on the like and subscribe buttons. If you have thoughts regarding other topics that I could address in a future video, please feel free to add your suggestions to the comments below.